I don't know if this was like a kink thing for them, but and the worst part is that like I was shocked that she was shocked. Men coming in to like wheel and deal, I'm like, ugh, oh God. But I don't know what order these videos are going to come in, but if you don't know already, I am no longer in the resale business. More on that later. I don't know if we'll be covering that in today's video, but stay tuned. You guys say all the time that if I were to write a book, you guys would totally read it. So maybe this is that book. This is going to be a new series here on my channel. These are the, I guess we'll call it Resale Chronicles, or if you guys have a better name, comment that down below. So this new series is just going to be a collection of stories that I have compiled over the years. So I'm going to tell you guys the story of my the first sale that I ever made. So I have a couple of castings to film and record, so we were just going to be efficient and put on our makeup at the same time. And yeah, hopefully this is something that you guys are into. If you have a better name than Resale Chronicles, then let me know. Anyways, we are going to get started with my first designer sale and how ridiculous it was. 2014 was the year that I started in this industry. At the time, I was the biggest thrifter. I've mentioned before that I was like shopping at Goodwill, Salvation Army. It was like my goal at the time to like get the best deals. So I didn't really have a concept of spending designer money. As you can see, that's changed. My boss at the time knew that I had very little experience. Like, I'm really good with computers and software and stuff like that. So I was mostly entering merchandise. At this boutique, we had a policy of basically like rolling discounts. This is pretty standard in the industry. Like, the longer a consignment business will have something sitting on the shelf, the higher discount typically will be available for it. And this was about 10 years ago, so a lot of these policies have changed as the resale market has gotten bigger. But back then, and in this one specific place, it was a rolling discount that was based on the date. This was written into the contract. This is something that everyone pre-approved beforehand, with a couple of exceptions. Like if we had any like, you know, big ticket or mezz bags, they weren't, you know, subject necessarily to the same type of discount policy. We set the price on day one, and maybe after about 2 weeks or so, up to the first 30 days, the item is eligible for about 10% off. In the following 30 days, so that's within 60 days, it goes to 15%, you know, initial 60 days, then the item is available to be discounted at 20%. After something hit 90 days, typically the contract was up, but we weren't very strict. So after 90 days, the discounts were kind of just up to our discretion. For it to hit more than 30%, it would have had to have been sitting there for like a really long time. There are discounts, there are policies. Like sometimes certain customers and certain clients would be like more inclined to discount their things. Certain people don't care. Certain people just want the money fast. Other people are, you know, a bit more, we'll say, strict. It just really varies by client, and you know, you're not really gonna know that until you've had the experience working in any type of resale business. You do have to get to know the clients as well, so you can kind of just feel it out for yourself, but that takes time. I'm about 2 weeks in to working at this new job, and a guy comes in. He's shopping for a bag for his wife. Probably, I would guess at the time, like maybe like mid-40s or something. And so I asked him a couple questions, like kind of what he's looking for, what are his wife's tastes. At the time we had everything organized by designers. So I show him a couple of bags. He's like, not that one, maybe not that one. So I pick up the bag that is going to be the subject of today's video, and the first bag that I ever sold. That bag was the Louis Vuitton Wilshire bag in Amarante Vernis. This is a bag from 2009. It's like a kind of like metallic-y eggplant color, patent leather, like top handle, like small tote. What do you call 2009? Is 2009 the aughts? Because you don't say early 2000s, but it's not the 2010s. Whatever, it was from 2009. He looked at that, he was like, you know what? I think she'll really like that. What's your best price? So at that time, we had the bag priced at $8.95. If memory serves, the bag was eligible for a 15% discount based on like how long it had been sitting there. So I knew that 15% was okay. 15% discount would bring the bag down to $760, which is significant. Let me make sure I have my math right. $7.60 and 75 cents. Just to be safe, I text my boss a picture of the bag, a picture of the tag. I have someone interested in this. I'm doing 15% off. She says, okay, sounds good, cool, great, right? He's like, can you do any better? You know, this is my first actual experience with haggling. I was instructed in situations like this, call and find out, because maybe, like I said earlier, this is a particular client that is a little bit more lenient with her pricing, or maybe they're a psycho and they want their amount to the penny. I call her, I ask her, I say, hey, he wants to know if we can do any better than the 15% that we've already given off. This bag had apparently like just hit the 15% threshold. You know what, just do $7.50. Just tell him $7.50, see what he says. And I'm like, okay, great. Hang up the phone, go over, I tell him, we can do $7.50. He comes back and says, I'll take it for $6.50. This bag had just made it to the 15% range. Putting it at $6.50 would put it closer to 30%, which we are way not even close to that yet. So now, the Katherine, veteran in the industry of 2023, would have just told him no and moved on with my day. So I call her again with the $6.50 number. She's like, you know what, tell him I can bring it to 20% off. 20% brought it down to $7.16. $7.16 is our new price. Shockingly, he's not happy at $7.16. I know. Tells me to call her again. Can I do any better? So now, I'm assuming this is the 5th time I've called her because I've lost count. She's like, okay, fine. You can do $700. Get off the phone again. And instead of saying, $700, what a great savings. Thank you for being so patient with me. Bag it up. He's like, $6.99. I have called this woman now 5 times. We brought this bag from $8.95 to what? $760 to $716 to $700. I'm ready to pull the plug on this. This is a game for him. There are other tasks that I have to get to in this day. So I say to him this, you need to take it at $6.99? Guess what? I have to ring this up for $700. If you really need it, I can give you the dollar back. Most of the time when guys walk into these type of settings, I won't say most of the time, but I will say that this is a very particular thing that you get with men when they enter spaces like this. They're trying to be like the deal maker guy. I'm about my business. Here's my money. They'll slap it on the counter and say, take it or leave it. Like that is so common and rampant, especially when you're working on the ground and in store. And, you know, at this point now that, you know, I had been doing this for 10 years, like I'm fully unfazed by it. Imagine you are walking in like with that machismo level to you and you kind of just get like trounced on by bubbly little 20-year-old girl. I don't know, but I guess, you know, upon like hearing me say that out loud, he probably was embarrassed, and I hope he was. Okay. He goes, okay, fine, $700. Gives me the $700 cash. Now, this guy was like known to do this. Over the years, he did come back with his wife who he would be shopping for. I don't know if this was like a kink thing for them, but she would come in, shop around a little bit, haggle me to the inch of my life. I'd set a price for them, they go think about it, and then he would come back and try to haggle it down some more. Eventually, I came to like understand their game. I would just come back with a nothing number. I would let them speak their piece, and we'd end up at the price that it was supposed to be. Reverse psychology. Years later, it comes time for her to, you know, come in and consign a dress with us. You know, she bought it allegedly from the Gucci store. I don't believe that. At the time, on the high end, our clothing wasn't really going much higher than $5.95. So I tell her, we're gonna start at $5.95. Here are all of the discount protocols. And I'm thinking, because they've bought at this point maybe like anywhere from 5 to 10 bags from me, and have just gone out of their way to needle and needle and needle and slash and slash and slash prices down in a way that even through years of experience is inordinate. So I explained to her that she gets 50% of the final selling price, and that means the final selling price means the price after all of the discounts. I'm only gonna get $300. And it's like, that's what it clicked for me, that like these people who like deals, okay, I don't want to make sweeping statements and say everyone who likes deals is like this, because that is obviously not true. I like a deal too, but when it comes time for me to sell my items, like, guess what? I understand that that deal making is what, you know, has been put out into the world. I benefit from it. So when it comes time for me to sell something, I understand that that discount doesn't just come out of nowhere. So she was fully shocked when her item inevitably was gonna get discounted, because it was kind of like, no offense to the dress was fine, but it was like it's a random dress, it doesn't have G's all over it. She was gonna have to participate in, you know, it being discounted. It's gonna end up with less money in her pocket. She was shocked. And the worst part is that, like, I was shocked that she was shocked, because I kind of had this understanding in my head, naively at the time, that like people understand that you have to, you know, you put into the world and you get back, like, reciprocity in the same store where they get all these great discounts, that their item might be discounted as well. That's when it occurred to me that, like, some people are just selfish. That was like so enlightening to me. Now, they say that you really learn about people when you work in the service industry, in restaurants, which I did that briefly as well, but I've learned so much about psychology and humans based on working in this industry for close to 10 years. Understanding that, like, some people are just inherently selfish was eye-opening. I hope this doesn't sound stupid, but it really was. So this set of experiences, along with many others over the years, like, has put me completely off of haggling, because I've just seen it done so poorly, and that I've really come to the realization that if something that I want is presented at a price that I'm not interested in paying, if I really want it, I'll find another one, I'll save up for it, but because if I want it, I'll find the money for it. I always talk about how demand is the only thing in the resale industry, and things are worth what people are willing to pay for them. And if people are lined up to pay an amount that you think is egregious, then, I don't know, get something else. I'm kind of like thinking back on all my years in this industry and just kind of reflecting. So maybe I'll share more stories. Maybe I'll get better at telling them to camera. This is a new format for me, so I do appreciate your patience. I will get better at this. So that is it for this video. If you have any more story requests, if you have any questions or anything, this could be like a fun series that we can do here on this channel. Let me know. Also, if you have a name for this, I'm gonna start it with maybe like Resale Chronicles, but I feel like that's kind of boring. Naming things is not really my forte. Yeah, I have some auditions and stuff to go film, and I'm gonna come back with some more amazing video content. So thank you guys so much for your support all of these years, and I'm really excited with what's to come. So with that, I'm gonna leave it here, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.